Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Vlad Bedside Analysis. So, today I'm going to talk about Glasgow. I've lived here for most of my life. I really like this place. I've been in property for quite a long time, and it's always been here in Glasgow. So, the question is why? Why do I not go out there, start investing in Manchester, Leeds, Yorkshire, and everywhere else that other people on YouTube tell you to invest? Hopefully in this video, I will explain to you why. I will talk about Glasgow, why I love it so much, maybe pass that passion across to you. Enjoy the video. Hello guys, so let's talk about Glasgow and why I love it so much. Firstly, what is Glasgow? Where is it? Let's open up the map of the UK. As you can see, that's United Kingdom there. We've got London, Oxford, and as you look up, just right there where my mouse is Glasgow. So if you zoom in, it is quite a big built up area and it's surrounded by little towns, as I would call them. People live in those areas and most of them still kind of see themselves as Glasgow. They still commute to Glasgow for a lot of things. So there's Paisley, Clydebank, East Kilbride, Motherwell, Coatbridge, Airdrie, and a few others. So that's Glasgow there. It is the biggest city in Scotland and it's one of the biggest cities in the whole of the UK. So as you can see, it's pretty massive. It's even bigger than Edinburgh. Edinburgh's amazing, but in my view, it's very expensive in there. Very beautiful, lovely, lovely place, but for investment, a bit expensive. Edinburgh is probably more on the serviced accommodation side. And yeah, when you've got more capital, that's where you would go. So that's it there. Now let's look at some facts. So I've had to Google a few things. Firstly, the population of Glasgow. How big is it? So it says here that the population is around 622,000. But if you look at all those surrounding areas, we are looking at 1.8 million people. I think that's a more meaningful number. About a third of Scotland's population lives in Glasgow and around Glasgow and all the surrounding areas. So a lot of people, a lot of amenities, a lot of demand for things, a lot of jobs. I think it's just got everything. I genuinely think Glasgow has everything. Let's look at some facts. This is just a random website, so please don't quote me on all of them. But what we've got here is that Glasgow is Scotland's largest city. I've already said that. And another thing that's worth noting is it's also one of the biggest cities in the whole of the UK. It says here, fourth largest city. So only London, Birmingham and Manchester are bigger. It is massive, absolutely massive, and it's got everything. First statue of a woman riding a horse, over 90 parks and green spaces. That's very true. Everywhere you go, you come out of the house, every single area has got tons of parks. So if you want to go for a walk, relax, decompress, take your dog somewhere or go with your wife or whoever, your kids, there's loads of spaces to have a barbecue, a picnic, enjoy the fresh air when it's not raining. That's crazy, obviously. So in terms of parks and green spaces and nature, Glasgow is perfect. I think to expand on that, let's just open the map here. So you're in Glasgow. If you live in Glasgow, or people that you rent a flat to live in Glasgow, they can just take an easy drive, 1 hour. They can go to Troon, Ayr, Largs, places like that, and it's lovely places that have a bit of a beach, access to the sea. If it's warm, which is not very often, but if it's warm or hot during the summer, you can even go for a swim. Not a very long one because the water is still cold, but it's just perfect. All those places are great just to walk around, get a bit of fresh air, have an ice cream takeaway, etc. So loads of really beautiful nature not too far away, pretty much everywhere you go. Helensburgh is absolutely fantastic. You can go the other direction towards Edinburgh. Edinburgh isn't too far away. You've got all the amazing things that Edinburgh has to offer. And then you can go up north, you can do NC 500, you can see all the Highlands. So from Glasgow, it's a very convenient place to go and explore the nature and really do the hikes and climb mountains, etc. If you're into that stuff, Glasgow is a great place to live because it's a big city, but you are able to drive to loads of places nearby to be able to decompress and just enjoy that nature. There's a patron saint. Glaswegian invented the raincoat. Again, if that's the case, that's quite cool. Third oldest underground railway system in the world. So honestly speaking, underground in Glasgow is not amazing because it kind of goes from the center to the west. It's just a little circle like that. So it's not like London where you can take underground everywhere. But you have buses, you have trains, and you have underground in the West End. And ideally, you'd have a car. You know, if you have a car, you can find, if you know where to look, you can find good parking everywhere. And it's more convenient by car, but it also still has all the transport that you can possibly need. The first Prime Minister of the UK was born in Glasgow, apparently. So that's another interesting fact. Food facts about Glasgow. So that is something else. Honestly, Glasgow has got all the foods that you can possibly want. Whatever culture you're from, whether it's Asian, African, Middle Eastern, Italian, Eastern European, there is restaurants, takeaways, shops, Latino as well. There's everything's catered for. You have Eastern European shops where you can get all sorts of Eastern European stuff. You have more Latin, Mexican, Colombian shops. You have more African shops. You have more Indian shops. And the same for restaurants, cafes, etc. I mean, the food is fantastic here. There's a lot of really good food. The traditional food, yeah, I mean, haggis, iron brews, square sausages, it's good to try, good stuff, but the amount of international foods in Glasgow is insane. There's a lot. So 43% of Glaswegians will leave a tip at independently run restaurants. So that's interesting. The tip thing is very controversial, so I won't go into that. It has the second most takeaway food options in the UK, which is completely true, from pizza to ramen to poke. Anything that you want, you will find a food option. And a lot of it is very affordable. There's also Groupons, as you can see, all those tabs open is all food things that I want to do with my wife, so I'm going to buy a lot of them. When it comes to food, Glasgow is really good. I mean, there's restaurants for every taste, and it's fantastic. My wife got me passionate about food, and now I love it, and there's a lot in Glasgow, so honestly, try it. It's really good. Tikka masala was invented in Glasgow, probably, so that's a cool claim. In 2013, it was named the most vegan-friendly city. Yes, if you're a vegan, there's loads of vegan restaurants, vegan option for you. It's been that way for a really long time. But then also looking at this picture, there's a lot of murals on the walls, so you can do a mural sort of tour and walk around and see a lot of the paintings. So vegan friendly, and also a lot of murals for people to have a look around and see. What else do we have? Nelson Mandela tribute. A Glasgow carpet company manufactured carpets for the White House and the Titanic. That sounds really cool. I mean, yeah, when you do the refurbs, loads of great affordable carpet option. There's one company I work with. I can put you guys in touch. But yeah, apparently they've also made the carpet for White House and Titanic, so pretty cool. I suppose the Titanic one is not there anymore, but the White House might still be. First African American to earn a medical degree, attended the University of Glasgow, so that's a cool milestone. St. Valentine's forearm is in Glasgow, so yeah, it's all romantic and nice. So yeah, that's just some of the cool facts about Glasgow. We looked at the population. There's a quick map, but let's look at Google Maps and I'll tell you a bit more about my love for Glasgow and why I love investing there. So I've made a few different folders with places. So I'm going to start from the top, hospitals. NHS is a controversial system. It's free, and therefore, if something goes wrong and you need some really expensive emergency treatment, you might get it for free and it might work out well. And that's a great thing. So there's some really amazing pluses to the NHS. However, there's long waiting times and there's a lot of really big issues with the NHS as well. The doctors are overloaded, etc. However, there's big hospitals in Glasgow. So there's accident A&E departments in a few places in Glasgow. If something happens, you can go there. Yes, you're going to spend probably 10 hours there before anything happens, but there are those places you can go to pretty much around the whole of Glasgow. Also, all of those big hospitals are massive, so they employ loads of people. So it means if you focus your investment around those areas, there's a lot of people that will want to live there because it's close to their workplace. So that's just one thing. A lot of really big hospitals equipped with great equipment and stuff. A bit hard on HS to get to all those hospitals, but some good employment opportunities there. In terms of unis and colleges, there is 3 really good unis. University of Glasgow, University of Strathclyde, and Glasgow Caledonian University. You can see the 3 of them there. They do, so Glasgow is amazing for medicine. Strathclyde is really good for business. Both are good for engineering. Caledonian is always ranked slightly lower, but even within Caledonian, there's still a lot of really good courses. So a lot of students come from all over the world to attend those universities. They're not like Cambridge or Oxford, but they're quite up there with in terms of rankings and the quality of staff, lectures, etc. So 3 big universities, tons of students, a lot of potential for student accommodation. A lot of it is being developed already as we speak, but you can still tap into that market because there's tons of students. And then also Glasgow Clyde College, Glasgow Kelvin College, a couple of different campuses. And then you've got University of West of Scotland, so another university that's it's got really good courses. So as you can see, loads of educations, loads of students, and with that comes a lot of opportunity for investment. So I think that's fantastic. That's really, really good, and it means people can stay here, so they can come here, have their kids go to a good school. From there, go to a good uni and then get a job. So right now, Glasgow is a place where you don't have to jump around. You can go to a good school, good uni, and get a fantastic job. So that's the unis and colleges. You can probably tell I'm really passionate. I really love Glasgow, guys. Schools, I've just highlighted some of the highly ranked ones. I mean, I went to St. Roch's, which is not very highly ranked, probably around about here. But some of the good ones that, are ranking really well is places like Mearns Castle High School, Jordan Hill School, Highland School. So they're a bit sort of bundled in particular areas. However, even in those areas, there's still affordable properties. It's not like London. You can buy a property there and you can send your kids to good, highly rated schools. And I think that's public schools. So there's also private ones that I don't even know where they are or how they rank. So as you can see, a lot of good schools. And if I put all the schools all around Glasgow, there'll be tons, absolutely tons. So another good plus. The property portfolio I've already kind of talked about in the past. In terms of transport, you've got the Glasgow Airport, which is not too far away. It's actually just outside of Glasgow, but you can get there without traffic. I live on the east side around here, and I can go all the way across to the centre of Glasgow and into the airport in probably 25 minutes. If there's traffic, it can take longer, but from the centre, there's also direct links to the airport, and you've got flights all over the world from Glasgow. You even have a direct flight to Dubai now, and you have really good prices for a lot of flights as well. So Glasgow Airport is fantastic. There's Glasgow Prestwick Airport somewhere in the coast here, and there's obviously Edinburgh Airport that you can go to. It takes about an hour to get to Edinburgh Airport, so good for flights. You have the Glasgow Central Station, Queen Street Station for trains all around the UK, and Buchanan Bus Station for all the buses all around the UK as well. And it's all located very conveniently close to each other in the centre. So that's some of the transport. Shopping centres, you've got some of the big ones dotted about where there's tons and tons of shops. You can spend days in there, and people do. It's always full of cars. but you've also got smaller shopping centres all over the place. But yeah, that's some of the big ones there. You can see again quite a lot of options. So if you're into shopping, plenty for you to have a look at in Glasgow. Then venues, when you want entertainment, you've got sports venues, venues for concerts, etc. And that's some of the main ones there. You've got the Rangers and the Celtic stadiums for football. You've got Hampden Park for all sorts of events, from concerts to horse racing to, yeah, all sorts of stuff. Emirates Arena, you've got the OVO Hydro. The company changes, but it's the Hydro is called. That's where a lot of the artists come, and there's a lot of very famous singers, bands that come and perform there. So you've always got, if you're into music, you've always got a lot of options, and you've got smaller venues as well that you can go and have a look at. So in terms of entertainment, as you can see, I think plenty compared to all the other cities. And I was surprised how many famous artists like One Republic, Beyonce, you name them, they've been to Glasgow. So they do see Glasgow as a big sort of hotspot for performing. And then you've got attractions. It's just some of the things that I think people should visit. They're not the most incredible thing. Just outside you've got the Falkirk Wheel, which takes you on like a little boat, and then it takes you up to from one canal to another canal on a different level. That's quite a cool piece of engineering. Kelpie's big metal, massive metal, sculpted horses, really cool. Necropolis has got a really cool atmosphere. Glasgow Cathedral is nice. It's got loads of really good museums like the Kelvin Grove Museum, Riverside Museum with the cars. A lot of them are free and just a great day out. You can go grab some food, walk around the museum, so enough stuff for you to do. There's also Botanic Gardens, Borough Collections, yeah, loads of stuff, and a million parks that I've talked about before. So I'm not going to open the parks. So yeah, hopefully that gives you an idea of Glasgow as a whole. I honestly love the place. It's got such a it's got nice people. Each city has its own issues. Yes, I mean historically the crime rates were a bit high. Sometimes you see some idiot teenagers walking around and stuff, but it's like that everywhere in the UK. In Glasgow, I think for what it is, a lot of areas with property are undervalued, and it's a really good place to invest. Just at the end of this video, just to give you an example, I've been to a viewing today. It's this property here, offers over 75,000. We actually own a property very close to it. It's a 2-bedroom terraced house. As you can see, you walk in, you have your living room in here. You have your kitchen. Everything is very dated, tired, crap. It's another, people say it to be nice, but just crap and needs changing. New bathroom is needed. I think this is the front garden. Obviously, you need a fence and a bit of a tidy up there. The back is actually not too bad. Just need a tidy up in there and maybe a new fence or a better fence painted or something. Inside, yeah, a bit tired. Yeah, you don't have all the pictures, but actually decent sizes. You can see on the floor plan. The bedroom is 3.78 by 3.09, 3.97 by 2.7. 2 levels with a bathroom on the top floor. It's 75k. It is EPC C, council tax B, so that the bills are very reasonable, very decent. It does need a bit of a refurb, but then I saw a comparable flat not too far away, as you can see in here. Also a bit tired. Not much has been done really in here. They've kept an old kitchen. They've kept most of the stuff quite old. There's nothing special in there. Those tiles are old, I could just tell. I've got some fireworks outside. Maybe I'm going to regret saying good things about Glasgow. Some people are idiots here. Anyways, a bit of a tired bathroom. Very similar layout. And it's been agreed at £800 a month. I know that with a good refurb you can rent this property for 1,000, 1,100 a month. So that just gives you an idea of the yield. If you buy it for 75, if you don't go too crazy, if you really try to budget and do a lot of the work yourself, maybe do 15 refurb. So you'd be up to 90. Even if you do a 25k refurb, you're up to 100k. Just don't go all out like I did with the last property. So you'll be at 100k and you'll be getting potentially 900 to £1,000 a month. So about 10% yield. And that's just a very quick example that I have found. I'm gonna go see what those fireworks are all about. Sorry about that, guys. So there was genuinely just a whole show of fireworks outside my house, just a few doors down. I'm not sure if it's kids or something, but it was actually really beautiful fireworks. So I got to see about 5 minutes of it, which was cool. So yeah, that's just a quick example that you can get a property for around 100k all in, and then rent it for. This is not really renovated properly, so as I said, about £1,000 a month. So 100k, £1,000 a month, 12,000 a year, 12% yield. Not bad, I think, not bad at all, considering all the amenities you have there. Very affordable prices. Well, I hope I managed to give you this passion that I have for Glasgow. It's really a city in my heart. I lived in other cities. I lived in London. I lived in Birmingham, Leamington Spa. I lived abroad, and honestly, as soon as I came back to Glasgow during COVID, which is really my place, I've been very happy. I mean, it's not perfect, it's not for everyone, but honestly, it's got everything. I really like it, and it's a great place to invest. So this is not a video to just get everyone to start investing in Glasgow. Make your own decisions, make your own choices, but hopefully I explained why I think Glasgow is the place, why I love Glasgow so much, and why I think it's fantastic. Cheers, guys, subscribe, and see you in the next video.